I have committed a great sin, and I don't even know if God will forgive me. And I don't even know if humans can forgive me. I have sinned against my children, my family, and myself. At the end of this revelation, those that I have committed sin against will get to know, and all that I seek from them is forgiveness. All that I am going to talk about is the truth, but nothing else. I am someone who is not that interested in school. So when I completed high school, I couldn't pass. So my mother convinced me to sit for the examination again. She told me even if she would go for a loan to take care of me, she would. I told my mother the school wouldn't help me, so we should just ignore it. My mother talked to me on several occasions, but I didn't mind her. I was there one day, and it hit me that I should pack my things and leave the town I was living with my mom. I didn't even say goodbye to my mother. I left without a notice. So I moved to the city. I didn't know anyone when I went, and no one knew me as well. I was doing a head porter business, thus carrying people's belongings for money. While doing this, I met a man who was into building construction. The man proposed to me, and I accepted it because I wanted a place to sleep and it was an opportunity for me to have a place to lay my head. The man took me to his kiosk apartment at a new site, and that's where we stayed. I was going house to wash people's clothes and was doing cleaning in other houses as well. I was getting a little money from it, which was helping in keeping the house and supporting my man. While we were staying together, I got pregnant. In fact, the pregnancy was a trouble for me. Because at that time I didn't have money and didn't even know from my left to right. So I decided to clear the baby, but my man told me not to because he doesn't know what the child will do on earth. I agreed and kept the baby. I went for a scan at the hospital and realized they were twins. My man told me twins are blessing, so I should keep them. I was doing the same job of cleaning and washing until I gave birth. When the kids grew a little bit, I went back to my job again. When I go with the twins. It wasn't an easy task, but I had no choice because I had to support my man to take care of the family. I was there one day, when a friend of my husband came to tell us that a certain man in a new house wanted someone to do his laundry for him and other cleaning jobs. So I went and met an old man of about 65 years, living with only the houseboy. The house was a big one. I was wondering why a man of that age would be living alone in that big house with only a houseboy. Out of curiosity, I asked the houseboy why the man was staying alone. Who prepares food for him, and where are the wife and the children? The houseboy told me the man was staying abroad with his children and the wife. The wife fell sick overseas, and she eventually passed away. So they brought the body to Ghana with the children to bury the wife and have a proper funeral for the beloved wife. They are done with the funeral, and the kids have returned abroad, but the man has decided to stay back for a while before he leaves. He wants to put things in order since he is getting older. He also wanted to settle finally in Ghana when he goes and returns again. So I was doing my normal job of cleaning and washing. And since I was doing my work well, the man began to like me. The man always asks me why I bring the twins to work and asks the whereabouts of my husband. I told him everything that was happening in my life. So the man asked me what he could do for me to ease my burden, since the twins are not all that grown to be engaging in this kind of job. I told him I wanted to sell fruit so my eyes could be on the children. I was there one day when the houseboy came to me and said the man needed my attention in the house. When I went there, the man gave me a huge amount of money to start my fruit business. I was so shocked and never expected the man would do such a thing for me. I was rolling on the floor and thanking him like crazy. Because even my own family doesn't come to my aid when I'm going through hardship. But a stranger I never knew giving me this money was a shock to me. God bless you, old man. I was so happy when I went home. I told my husband about the money, and he said, thanks to the man. At midnight, my husband tapped me on the shoulder and asked me if I had something to do with the man. According to him, it is strange for the man to give me such an amount of money without having anything to do with him. I told him I had nothing to do with the man and it was because of how I kept his house clean. That's why he gave me the money to help me out. He didn't say anything. I started my fruit business and also went to the man's house occasionally to do his laundry work. I was there one night when my husband tapped me again on my shoulder and woke me up. He then asked me if the man had ever proposed to me before. I told him no. He then asked if the man had been eyeing me in a different way. I said no, because the man sees me as his daughter, so he doesn't have that thing in mind. My husband then told me the man has enough money and he needs money at this time to do nothing. He is done taking care of his kids, and the wife is dead, so what at all does he have money for? He told me the money the man has been giving me is big but not enough to care for both of us. So he has a plan to get more money from the man to be able to take care of ourselves. So we can move out of the kiosk and rent an apartment and take the kids to school and start a business with. I asked my husband what plan was on his mind. He set out the plan, and this was it. Since the man trusts me and has given me access to his room to keep it clean, I should frame him up and accuse him of something bad. I got shocked and asked my husband, what kind of evil is that? I should frame the one who has helped me and is still helping us. How should you think of such? He told me it is a business, and I should let him know if I can do it or not. Regardless of where the kiosk is, the owner of the land wants us to take away the kiosk for him to develop the land. So if I refuse to go by the plan, he will leave me and the kids behind so we can look for our own shelter. I got scared because if my man leaves me and the kids, where will we stay? So I asked my husband to open up the plan. He says when I go to the old man's room, I should go naked and try to seduce him. If he agrees to sleep with me, I should allow him so we can get more money from the man. If he doesn't agree to sleep with me, I should start forcing myself on him and start shouting so we can accuse the man of forcing me to sleep with me so we can get more money from him. I became weak instantly after my man told me of the plan. How should I do this to a generous man like that? Just because of money. So I became worried, but my man was still insisting. He started giving me a cold attitude. He doesn't eat my food, sleep with me, or inform me when he goes out and returns late in the night. So I asked him what I had done wrong. He insisted until I did what he was asking of me, he wouldn't say anything. And finally, when we are evacuated from the kiosk, I should find my way. He has nothing to say anymore. In fact, it was difficult for me, but I had to do it. So one day, when the houseboy left the house to work, I went to the house as usual and left the main gate open for my husband as planned. When the old man went to the bathroom, I entered his bedroom and went topless. When the man returned from the bathroom, he met me topless in his room. The man got shocked and asked me why I was doing that, and didn't I know I was like one of his daughters. So I approached him and started touching him. He then pushed me and told me never to do that because he is not like that. He said I am his daughter, so I shouldn't do that, for that is not how he is. He said he was still mourning his late wife, so he doesn't even want to engage in such an act. I then started scratching my body with my fingernails until blood started coming. I was scattering the room and started shouting for help. My husband entered the room, picked up his phone, and started filming. The old man wanted to talk, and my husband gave him a dirty slap at once. The man videoed everything. He has evidence of us that the man has slept with his wife. I was still on the floor crying. The old man couldn't believe what was happening and was shocked. At once, the people in the community started coming into the house. Some of them were slapping him and accusing him of sleeping with someone's wife. So the people around decided to take the matter to the police. I knew the old man had done nothing, but I dare not say anything. So the man called his children abroad, and after 3 days, the kids were in the country. When the police took over the case, they didn't even allow the man to talk because he had been accused of sleeping with someone's wife. When the kids of the man returned from abroad, they asked that the case should be out of court settlement. They wanted to take the case from court and settle it at home to avoid any further embarrassment. Whether it is true or not, they don't want to know. They don't want to drag the case on anymore. So they reached an agreement that my husband should be compensated. My husband named his price of 30,000 Ghana cedis, which equated to $1,924. They paid the money without any bargain. After collecting the money, we went ahead and rented an apartment and enrolled the kids in a school. I added it to my fruit shop, and the man started a business with the rest of the money. In fact, everything was going just fine. I put my ears on the ground and heard the man is now confined in a room. He is not able to go out because of shame. The old man's children have left for abroad, and they are not on good terms with their father. They couldn't believe whether it was true or not. The children think their father has brought shame on them. According to the houseboy, the man was always quiet in his room. One terrible thing that has happened is that the old man is dead now. I was there one day when the houseboy called and asked me if I knew the old man had died. I got shocked when I heard the man was dead. I asked the houseboy what happened to him. And the houseboy said it was because of my wickedness that the man has died. He said I should wait and see what will happen to me. When the man was dying, the houseboy told me my name was the only thing the man was mentioning. The houseboy said that during the funeral of the old man, the family poured libation and performed rituals on the body before he was buried. I informed my husband about it, and he told me I should not care about it, for it would do nothing to us. I was there one day after my husband left for work and brought the kids to the house back from school. People were shouting my name that my husband has fallen from a 2-story building he was working on, so I should be fast and calm. I ran to the site, and what I saw was so bad. My husband has fallen from a story building, and his head has broken into pieces. The moment I saw my husband's head, I went into coma. How I went to the hospital, I had no idea. I woke up to the death of my husband. I then realized I left my children behind, so they should allow me to go and look for my kids. I ran to the house to check on my twins and met the shock of my life. People have gathered in my house crying. They then told me my twins have felt in a ground hole. According to an eyewitness, when I left to attend to my husband's death, the kids were playing around the hole and fell into it full of water. My children died instantly. I wasn't married to the man I was staying with. The family even doesn't know me, and I didn't know either of them. But when the man died, the family came and accused me of killing their man, and they really dragged me. After the funeral, I have not been able to sleep at night. There are rashes all over my body. Anytime I sleep, I always see the old man in my dreams. We are always in the court in the dream, sitting on the case. And I always lose the case. For now, I know I will die, but before I die, I want the kids of the old man to know the truth behind their father's death.